Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, members, and guests. In King County, there are 1,300 long-term care facilities. And there are 1,072 of those that are in people's houses. People who would contract with the state to have 2 or 3 people live in their house so they don't have to live in a institutional type setting where they can actually live in a house. Very nice. We find, though, that when we have this many people around, sometimes people are frail and they really can't talk about things that they need to discuss at the rest home, whichever one they're in. They're afraid to mention anything. They're afraid to ask about what the drugs are that they're taking or what their care is. That's where ombudsmen come in. Ombudsmen are people that are actually certified by the state of Washington, and their job is to go around to all the adult family homes and the rest homes and the nursing homes and just kind of wander through and talk to the people and say, how's it going? I'm your ombudsman. Let me know if I can give you a hand. I'll be back next week. And they go through, and every week they go through, and after a while, these poor people in there will stop thinking of them maybe as one more person invading their privacy, and maybe say, what are these drugs that's going on? Or, why hasn't my sister contacted me? Or, what am I doing here? And that's the ombudsman's job to find out. Now, we find that even though many of us go visit relatives in rest homes, there's still a large number of people who have no visitors. No one ever visits them. No sisters or brothers, no nieces or nephews, no friends. When you have friends or relatives visiting, then there's somebody that can say, hey, this doesn't look right, or ask the nurse, what's going on here? What is the story on this? If no one ever visits, there's no one to help solve problems. So that's what ombudsmen do. They're there to help solve problems. Now, volunteers, we're all volunteers. We all volunteer as Toastmasters, and we volunteer for charities, and most of us are in clubs where we're treasurer, or we're on the board of some small club. And this is good, and it makes us feel good, and we just kind of love doing it, and we should keep on doing it. But the question is it important? Now, of the 1,300 long-term facility care facilities in the state, in the county, in King County, they've ranged in size from 1 or 2 people in someone's house to a long-term care, a regular hospital where there might be 200 people in there. There's a lot of people spread out over 1,300 facilities. But the problem is the number of ombudsmen in King County to service all these facilities is 60. 60 people. So there's a lot of places that just never have anyone wander in. There's never any ombudsman. Never. So that's why it's important for us to get more people doing this and realize that if we do this, we're really doing something good for people. The county or the state has classes periodically that you have to go to class for 32 hours to be certified as a long-term care ombudsman. And the next series of classes is 2 days, I think in the first week of December, and 2 days in the second week. And then after you go through that, then you're a certified ombudsman, and then you would go ahead and find a local house that has some people in long-term care, and you would adopt a few houses, or you'd adopt a rest home, or maybe a big place. And the idea is you would say that you'll be putting in 4 hours a week to just wander through these places, talk to all the residents, say, hi, I'm your new ombudsman. How are things going? And if they say nothing, you say, well, I'll be back next week. Just kind of go through, and each week you go through and see what questions they might have. what help they might need. So after you would be certified, and you would go ahead and pick your rest home, or maybe an adult family home, maybe down the street where they have 4 people in 2 bedrooms, or something like that. You would go ahead and march on in. When you're an ombudsman, you can go in anywhere you want, anytime, not just during visiting hours. You can go in at 3 in the morning. You go in and talk to anybody in any room. You talk to any nurse, any doctor, any administrator. And if any of these places are dumb enough to try to keep you out, there's a large fine, so they'll never do it again. So this is really something that's very important to help these people who actually have no help. We all like volunteering. We all want to volunteer. And we're all going to keep on doing it because it's a lot of fun. And it's fun, but it's not important. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thanks, Seth.